Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim says the sale of unlisted shares through an approved IPO will not be subject to a proposed capital gains tax. He said this in his keynote address at Invest Malaysia 2023. Anwar noted he is aware of the investing fraternity's concerns over the proposed tax that would be imposed at a low rate. He gave his assurance that the tax will only be finalised upon extensive engagement with stakeholders and that the tax will not be introduced on listed shares nor the disposal of unlisted shares for an approved IPO. In a nutshell, any individuals or companies selling shares in listed firms, as well as existing shareholders who intend to sell their stakes in an unlisted company that is Bursa bound via the IPO, will not be subject to any new capital gains tax. Anwar also touched on the introduction of a new framework by the Securities Commission and Bursa Malaysia to facilitate the migration of LEAP firms to the ACE market. Currently, LEAP market listed companies are required to be delisted before they can go through another IPO assessment process to be listed on the ACE market. The stock market regulator will also introduce a new recognised approved advisor framework that will expand the pool of advisors for the ACE market. The police say they have launched an investigation into the alleged involvement of businessman Victor Chin Boon Long in the misappropriation of 30.7 million ringgit from Caely, Malaysia, a unit of the company formerly known as Caely Holdings. This follows a media report which alleged the existence of a corporate mafia in Malaysia and claimed that Chin had been making use of enforcement authorities in taking control over corporations in Malaysia. Deputy Commissioner of Police Datuk Norsyah Muhammad Saaduddin said the case is being probed under Section 409 of the Penal Code, which covers criminal breach of trust by agents. According to Norsyah, a police report was lodged on September 21, 2022, under Section 201 of the Penal Code. This is in relation to the offence causing the loss of information about another offence committed or giving false information about the offence in order to shield the offender from the law. Both of these investigation papers were submitted to the Attorney General's chambers on February 27th. The company, which has since changed its name to Clasita Holdings, has been embroiled in a series of boardroom tussles following a freeze on the company's accounts by the MACC in April last year. The Kuala Lumpur High Court has granted Sapura Energy and its 22 subsidiaries fresh orders today to hold court-convened meetings with creditors within 3 months. It also allowed a 3-month restraining order on the creditors. The companies filed an ex parte application with a certificate of urgency to seek the court order last Friday. Initially, Sapura Energy and the 22 units were granted a 3-month restraining order, which was slated to end last June. They then managed to get a 9-month extension of the said order, which was to end this month. Sapura Energy has experienced a number of torrid years after oil prices tanked from the end of 2014. In a recent filing with Bursa Malaysia, it said it is nearing the completion of its debt exercise with its creditors. Last year, it proposed a hefty 75% haircut from its 9 creditors that were owed over 10 billion ringgit. Liquidator of Utusan Melayu Malaysia, Datuk Tiguan Pian of UHY Advisory KL, says it is in the midst of disposing of trust assets in order to be able to pay some 58.46 million ringgit to all 639 ex-employees who are part of the company's voluntary separation scheme. The liquidator said it is their stand that the outstanding payments should be made to all former staff and not just the 160 who have filed legal action against the publisher. The liquidator was responding to an article by The Edge yesterday, which stated that the 160 employees had sent a letter of demand for the release of 18.88 million ringgit in funds from trust properties that were liquidated. The letter of demand, which was cited by The Edge, stated the liquidators have 40 14 days from March 3rd to comply, and that failure to do so would result in legal action being taken. To recap, the High Court ruled last October that the workers who had yet to receive their full compensation after filing for the voluntary separation scheme are beneficiaries of proceeds from the 29 trust properties. In a statement today, TE explained that the said order did not confer priority rights to the 160 employees, and that it believes the outstanding payments should be made simultaneously to all staff. The Malaysian government has clarified that there was no attempt by French bailiffs to seize the Embassy of Malaysia in Paris and its staff residence. Instead, there was a bid to survey the premises to obtain a description of the properties at the instruction of the self-proclaimed heirs of the late Sulu Sultan. A special task force set up to address issues related to the claims of the self-proclaimed Sulu descendants said in a statement that the diplomatic staff at the respective premises told the bailiffs this is not possible and turned them away. It added that the bailiffs left shortly after being turned down and stressed that this was not an attempt to seize the properties. The statement is in response to recent news reports that French bailiffs attempted to enforce a seizure order on 3 Paris properties owned by the Malaysian government, linked to a $14.92 billion arbitration award to the claimants.